Let's get more on the potential impact of this investigation with DeWardrick McNeal, Managing Director at Longview Global and a CNBC contributor. DeWardrick, great to have you with us. Help us understand why the Chinese government wants to torpedo Terry Go's candidacy.
Thanks for having me, Melissa. Let's step back and start with the investigation. As you point out, they claim it's for land use violations. There may be some there, but as you point out, Melissa, this strikes me as a politically motivated investigation into Hanhai, a Foxconn subsidiary in China. And the timing is unique here, Melissa. We're about 2 months away from a very critical presidential election in Taiwan. And Mr. Guo, Terry Guo, the founder of Foxconn, is a declared candidate. And in his August announcement, Melissa, he was pressed by the press. So they asked him, do you feel like you would be pressured by China given how important China is to Foxconn? And he pushed back pretty aggressively and said, A, he would not be bullied by China. He cited some of the important customers he had, naming Apple and Amazon and Tesla, and said, Melissa, it would be up to the Chinese government to explain to the world why these very important companies' supply chains were impacted by their action. Very reminiscent of the Jack Ma October 2020 comments, and we all know how that went down. And then finally, Foxconn has made a big showing over the last 2+ years of diversifying their supply chains outside of China, here in the U.S. and Wisconsin and Lordstown, Ohio. And the CEO recently said that India could account for up to 20 to 30% of Foxconn's manufacturing base. So these sorts of statements are not going to go unnoticed by the central government in China, Melissa. So I suspect some of this we are seeing is sort of an attempt to really fire a shot over the bow for Mr. Guo.
DeWardrick, it's Tim. So in your notes, really fascinating statement, or you say tough talk in Washington, sweet talk in Beijing seems to be kind of what's going on. And this dichotomy is fascinating. Do you think there is tough talk pressure on U.S. corporations to hold ground, to hold up at least, American democratic principles in terms of doing business around the world on those companies? And we were talking last week. We were all talking last week about Tim Cook's visit to China and also the Jon Stewart show that might be, taking a shot at China and why maybe that show was pulled. Is there pressure on U.S. corporates anywhere in this country to act more definitive in terms of American democratic principles around the world?
Well, certainly, I don't think that that's an official government position, Tim. But to your point, we have seen customers, we've seen shareholders really take a look at how countries behave and where companies are invested, and to try and put some pressure on companies to have some principles, to have some standards. But in China, there seems to be a bit of a double standard here. As you note, many companies fall behind that we're following the local guidelines and local laws. But the real challenge, Tim, is when Chinese laws are in contradiction with U.S. or other laws, which ones take precedent? And companies are in a tough spot trying to figure that out. If they act in one way, there could be repercussions in China. If they act one way in China, there could be repercussions here. So I don't envy them, but I think everyone is paying closer attention to these issues around values and human rights and how national security is impacting the business bottom line.
We've seen a bank run in China. They cut their deposit rates, banks, for the third time this year. Government stimulus package, tax cuts, all suggest their economy is ratcheting, not to a halt, but slowing down. That scares me because I think when economies slow down, the next thing is how do we get ourselves out? What are your thoughts in terms of this China-Taiwan situation, which continues to sort of flare up?
Well, I think to your point, it's always there. So we may pay attention to it in these sort of flashpoints and flare-ups, as you described it. But this issue is always right there above the surface here. This latest round, I think, just says to me that China is concerned about this upcoming presidential election. It looks like, for now at least, the current ruling party, the DPP, will win that election again. That's not an outcome that China favors. So I think businesses shouldn't take their eye off the Taiwan ball. I don't expect that there's going to be any sort of invasion scenario. But we're going to continue to see tension and pressure ramp up the closer we get to the January election.